Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Sorry to cut you off, Ryan, but the intro
That's
ended
fine.
unexpectedly early.
It's exactly the same length every episode. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, here I am on the lam, chased out of town by Tyrus Bellows.
Mm-hmm.
Amulet of Malchus around my neck.
Mm-hmm. It's an
What happens if I
interesting.
learn spells with the amulet on and then remove it?
You
Do I have
will
to find out?
lose those spells.
I'm not even close, but now I can learn unrepentantly. Only trouble is going to be finding people to give me their spellbook now that I'm an agent of Malchus, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if we can outrun the rumors and make our way to Thornwood.
Okay. You continue on your way to Thornwood. It is a 50-mile journey, and on
I guess
foot.
I meet up with Reptar at some point out of town. Does Tyrus not pursue him, or how does that go?
No, he did. He and his soldiers did not immediately pursue. But we should take this one day at a time.
So I
So,
meet up with Reptar though, or has that not happened yet?
no, that does not happen. You continue
Okay.
down the road, and eventually, well, we need to start rolling random encounter checks. I guess you're invisible.
I'm going to stay invisible the whole time, and I don't think it breaks until I hit something, right? Or
I roll when you go to sleep. It breaks. That's just my
so you can't
personal
use
house
protection.
ruling.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just like be invisible and then travel the world like a silent invisible monk forever.
I bet the hardcore heroes cast probably maybe watch the show. I think it would be great if you got them to go on a dungeon crawl where the prize at the end was my little note of the amulet. Or like an
Well,
investigation mission.
depending on how everything plays out, I might do that in a couple of years with a different campaign with people who didn't know what was going on. Okay.
Or would yeah.
Cool. So it's uneventful.
Well, hell yeah, I'm invisible. I bet animals can smell me though. None of them come sniffing out invisible Georg. I took a dagger to the back. That was not pleasant.
No, it only takes you 2 days to get to Thornwood, but by the end of by the time of day where you're getting tired of walking, you still have not run into Reptar.
Mm-hmm. That's really strange because I shouldn't have lost sight of. Should have been that far behind. There was like a minute delay while I was dodging Tyrus and turning invisible, and then I sort of looped around off the path.
Yeah, but I think he kept running, and you get pretty tired pretty quickly, as opposed to him.
Yeah, I don't know what his stats are, but
yeah,
I'm at 7 con. I'm kind of portly, big boned, if you will.
Yeah. Maybe half an hour after you left the field of battle, you saw Tyrus Bellows and a couple of his guardsmen thundering past you on horses in the direction of Thornwood.
Well, is this when I head back to town?
I don't know.
No.
But you haven't seen sign of Reptar. He could be ahead of you because he is faster and stronger. Or maybe he has gone and hidden off to the side. Maybe he's doubled back. You don't know. He could be anywhere. But you do know that these other people have surpassed you.
Getting a reputation, and it's moving faster than me. So I think I can. It's the only road, so I'm walking on it. But I'm a little more sullen after seeing the horses walk past me or past me.
Okay. Eventually, it gets late, and you need to settle down for the night.
No sign of Reptar. I guess I'll pull off the road. Huddle up by myself. I pick up my backpack as I ran, and thankfully he packed it up for me. Mm-hmm. So I'll start a fire with my flint and steel.
Okay.
I'm out of torches. I'm I'm out of candles.
Out of food.
I got 2 weeks ration, minus
Okay.
like the day that I gave Reptar and the snacks that I had myself.
All right. So yeah, you settle down, make camp, go to sleep. It's an uneventful night. You wake up the next morning, refreshed but quite visible.
If I cut again, I'm going to lose a dex to the point where I gain an AC. Can you have AC worse than 10?
Sure.
Can I have 11 AC because
Yeah.
of dex? Or I can have 9 AC because of dex.
Yeah.
/8, 10. There's not enough room in my character sheet for all the stat points I'm gonna need to deduct. Okay. If I go to 6 con, do I lose an HP? All right. So I guess I'm getting up in the morning. I'm gonna memorize spells, and I might be making sacrifices to Malchus. All right. So I always have enlarge. Let's do reduce this time. Color spray, of course. And I guess I'll throw Featherfall in my back pocket. Maybe I can make an escape jumping off something.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Your reduce is your spatial, your dimensionalist stuff, right?
It's my den. Yeah, it's the reverse of enlarge. Okay. If I drop my con to 6, I lose an HP. That can't happen. So no true seeing. Dex of 5 gets nasty. Oh man. Okay. So I think I will do another -1 Dex / charisma. And then 2 magic missiles. So -2 to strength and wisdom.
So -2 to dex, and what is your total penalty now?
Okay, so hold on. So I got 9.
-2 dex, -2 charisma, -2 strength, -2 wisdom.
Yes. So I'm at 9 out of. Okay, hold on. Let me get. So I'm at 9 out of 11 strength, 6 out of 8 dex, 12 out of 14 wisdom, and 9 out of 11 charisma. I get a penalty of 1 to my AC. I think that's the only tangible penalty at the moment, aside from skill checks. And I have 2 magic missiles and an invisibility. You're just grinning.
Well, you are draining your own life for the sake of power. You are a true wizard, Ryan.
Hey, right now I'm just trying to survive.
Right.
I'm misunderstood, been chased out of town by this ignorant Tyrus. There was a second where I thought about charging the missiles while I was running from Tyrus, but I didn't even want that in my pocket while I didn't want to shoot him. At that point, if I got caught, I still might survive if I talked my way out of it. Magic missiles are a different thing.
Okay.
So, I'm still visible, by the way, as I'm walking up the path. I have an invisibility spell available.
Sure.
And I'll probably stick near the edge of path with, always looking out for bushes or something to dive into if I see anyone approaching.
Okay. Let's see, it's 50 miles from one town to the other. You can go 24 miles in a day, but you left around midday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. So eventually grows dark again, and you must make camp once more. You have seen a few other passers-by on the road, some other people coming from Thornwood to Shirebrook. But you're kind of a weird-looking wizard, and they didn't really want anything to do with you. So unless you reach out to these people, you just ignore them.
No, as long as they didn't like pull out their pitchforks and be like, "It's the warlock that Tyrus warned us about," and then I'll.
No, it's more of like polite nods in your direction, and then just plodding along.
Do I really look that wizardly? I'm flattered.
You got a staff, pouches dangling from your belts, robes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, probably walking with a bit of a limp.
Oh, I could have murder hoboed some of those people. Literally murdered them and stolen their souls and used it to fuel my magic, but
Yep.
'cause I can't fly. I can't deal with -1 AC. Anyways. Yeah, okay. What kind of travelers am I walking by?
The first group is a group of adventurers. It looks
And
like
no, I'm not selling their souls. They can keep them.
looks like two fighters.
But if I happen to see like a merchant traveling alone,
You see what looks to be some sort of farmer or agrarian merchant driving an ox cart. It's him and his wife, and the two oxen that are pulling the cart, and a whole big load of goods in the back.
two souls. Oh man. Inside a living, intelligent medium humanoid. This is some twisted shit, Neil.
So they
I
have
feel
to
like I gotta
be.
separate my murder from my escape. Like, if these people die a day outside of town, he's gonna know that it was Vampire Georg who killed them and took their souls. But if we do it a couple days out of town, maybe in another town that hasn't heard of this yet.
Also, they have to be living when you stuff your hand inside
Color
of them.
spray is made for this.
Yes, it is.
God.
What do you do, Georg?
I don't murder these people on this road, not yet. But I look lustily. I think the farmer probably thinks I'm checking out his wife, and like gives me a glare, and I'm like, whoops! I avert my gaze, but really I was checking out his soul and licking my lips.
Okay. Then the night passes, and the next day also passes fairly uneventfully. You meet a couple other travelers on the road, not very many.
Am I traveling too much to be gaining HP? Am I traveling too hard? Sleeping by campfire.
It's non-strenuous activity, and I think if you are walking 12 miles a day, 24 miles a day, that's pretty strenuous.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a wanted man by the time I show up in Thornwood.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Tyrus. What did I ever do to you? Fucking Rona. Gossiping little unpleasant lady.
Well, that's what you get for
Big unpleasant lady.
playing pranks on wizards.
Joke's on her. She played a prank on a wizard reading his mind, and she gave birth to our next serial killer.
Oh, God.
The next murder hobo to grace dicing with death.
Yeah. So there you go.
So do I pass into the forest at some point?
You do pass into the forest a few hours after you wake up on the third day
Mm-hmm.
of travel. Um, yeah.
Okay. Where do I don't even have like a map. I don't know where I am.
Nope.
Like there's just one road, right? There's no forks I can take. It's like there's the road to the Thornwood, or I go wander into the swamp and get into
No. As
the
you go through the forest, I guess that's a good point. You eventually come across a river, and as you come to a large bridge crossing this raging river, there is a road that continues northward. You can cross the river to the west, which leads you into the walled city of Thornwood. The wall kind of, you can see the wall on the other side of the river and then down a ways. Or you could take the road north.
Is there like a river crossing, or is it just a bridge?
It's a bridge over a
Okay.
river.
Okay. I'm guessing Tyrus has probably told Thornwood to like arrest me if I show up, or maybe he's waiting at Thornwood for me to show up. Guess I could sneak invisible into Thornwood. Then I'm
The
gonna need to
point
find
of a
soul.
con.
And invisibility is the dex.
Oh, okay.
And I'm already at 9 AC. If I do another charge, I'd be at 8 AC. You can't hit what you can't see. So I will head towards Thornwood, across the bridge, deeper into the forest.
Have you charged? What is your amulet charged
So
at?
the
right
amulet
now?
is charged with 1 invisibility and 2 magic missiles.
Okay. Cool.
So I was thinking about casting the invisibility. So I have to bleed when I cast, right?
No,
or just
you
when I
only
charge?
bleed when you charge.
Okay.
And a simple
So I say-
cut on your hand that just gets a drop of blood out is enough, as long as it's enough blood to smear on all the gems that you want to charge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so we head towards Thornwood.
Sure. You walk through the forest for a little ways, and eventually you come to the large walled city of Thornwood. The walls are made out of brick. They stand 15 feet tall, and there is a 20-foot moat around the town. There is a drawbridge.
Is the moat
Hmm?
is it down?
Yeah.
And gates open?
Yes. Actually, no, there's no drawbridge. It's just a bridge, a stone bridge that crosses the moat and leads you to the city gates. Out in front of the gates, there are 4 guards, 2
I
on
think
the
as-
ground, 2
Before
on the
they even
parapets.
before they even see me, if I can, they may see me. I'm going to turn invisible.
Okay.
So like as soon as I spot that there's guards, I'll just like touch the amulet and
Okay.
disappear.
You vanish
Okay.
from sight.
You can continue describing the gate if there was more.
Nope.
more
As you
info.
approach, you see the guards, 2 on the ground, 2 on the wall. The ones on the walls have crossbows, the one on the ground have spears and studded leather armor and shields. They're just kind of idly chatting. Seems to be that the sheriff of Shirebrook has come through with a dire warning.
Yeah, I sort of stop as I'm walking past and listen to the gossip.
They are just exchanging rumors and, well, what do you think this, oh god, the stream is dying. Hold on. What do you think this blood-sucking servant of Malchus looks like? I don't know. He's probably a big sucker with nasty features on his face and horns. I don't know. The way that the sheriff told it, he was just another wizard passing through. Oh, you can't trust wizards. They're all alike, all out for power. None of them give a shit about the rest of us. Well, yeah. Still, if he's coming from Shirebrook, he might be coming this way. What, you really think we're going to have to deal with a wizard? Well, what do you think we're going to do? I mean, what if he comes up? What if a wizard were to come down that road right now, Marcus? What would you do? Well, how do you tell a wizard from someone else? I know, right? It's a fucking problem. There could be a wizard, he could just come right through. What if he looks like a normal person? What if he doesn't have those things? Shit. Does that mean we should start questioning everybody as if they're a wizard? Do you just like search their bags? How do you tell a wizard? I think wizards carry staves. Yeah, but don't other people? That's true. All right. Well, if anyone seems wizard-like, we should question them. Are you serious? Question him? Isn't he a blood-sucking wizard? Isn't he gonna kill us if we question him? Well, we're guards. That's our job is to stop these people. If a soldier came down the road carrying a giant pitchfork, a two-handed sword, we'd stop him, wouldn't we? Well, yeah, but wizard could get here before we know it. All right. Well, if we see someone that looks like a wizard, I'll just tackle him, and we'll just bind him up real quick, and the guys will come down, and we'll. I mean, if you could just overpower him, without his arms, he can't cast his spells, right? That sounds right. They need their hands to magic, right? Yeah. All right. We'll just have to. Oh, hold on, someone's coming. And they straighten up and as some people walk out of the town and head out the road.
That was beautiful. I don't know. I don't know that Georg would have stuck around for that whole conversation, but apparently he did. He didn't want to interrupt. It was the RPs were too good.
I'm glad you liked it.
I'm a little insecure about my quarterstaff now. Sounds like it's a wizard stereotype. It's the only weapon I'm proficient in. But I really think if it's coming to blows, then I might. Anyways, Invisible Georg is heading through the streets trying to find a tavern.
You get half a block when you come across a body hanging from a beam stretching between the two buildings on the streets. You see Reptar dangling from his neck. A
Dead?
nasty sword wound having ripped open his belly. It looks like maybe his entrails were stuffed back in. He's dead.
What?
There is a sign dangling from him. It says, "Those who collude with demons will meet this end."
Making a monster.
Yep.
Making a murderer. Isn't that a hit TV show right now? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but everyone seems
All the rage. Well, you're making him here on Dicing with Death.
Well,
I would never have pegged. Was this Tyrus? I think Georg is a little bit. I'm a little bit awestruck, appalled. How dare they?
What do you do?
Good thing I've got 19 int, because my instinct is to go straight for Tyrus and
don't confuse int and willpower.
See if 2 magic missiles is enough to bring him down.
How much HP does Tyrus have? What you gonna do?
I think I will find an inn, I guess. Maybe I leave. No, I can't. Do I have... Tyrus Bellows will die.
All men die.
He's the demon. Scale-skinned. All right. So I head to a tavern, I guess. And
you are invisible.
All invisible, like slip in. Yeah.
The door opens invisibly. Someone kind of looks and goes to shut the door. Do you shut it before they get there?
I let it close shut behind me and slip in to
All right.
the tavern room.
You're in the middle of a tavern. Wait, you're looking for an inn or for a tavern?
I don't know. An inn, I think.
Okay.
What time of day is it? This is probably like midway through. It was supposed to be a 2-day journey, but this is like midway
Yeah.
through the third for me.
It's probably midday.
Okay. Then I'll go to an inn and I'll try and slip upstairs and see if I can find an empty bed to sleep in. Or maybe I'll just find a house. I'll become invisible if I go to sleep, though, huh?
You do.
Is anyone napping during the day? Or should I just wait till nightfall? Well, I'm waiting for a victim, so I think I may kill time before night, unless something presents itself. I'll probably lurk around the inn, wander around town, invisible throughout the day. I guess if there's any information
Sure.
you want to impart
It's
on
a
the
lot more
city itself.
Okay. A lot of the buildings here in Thornwood are 2 or 3 story. It looks like the town is actually surprisingly not that big. It's maybe a half mile by a half mile, and it's walled. And once the town reached the limits of the walls, they had nowhere to go but up. And so many of the buildings are 2 or 3 stories, and some of them are quite narrow. It looks like maybe 2/3 of the town is made out of wood. The other third is made out of stone or brick. And of course, the brick buildings and stone buildings look a lot older. You can see signs of fire scarring on some sections of them. You find it very difficult to walk around town invisible because people don't see you and they will not move out of your way and they will just walk right into you. You get bumped into.
It's that busy that it's that busy.
Yeah, but also you're kind of looking around. You're not. Someone is walking up from behind you, and they don't see you, and then they start like stepping on your heels, and it gets a little bit awkward and cumbersome. But you manage to make your way around. It's a lot slower. You have to keep like sliding out of the way here and there, or completely retreating, or trying to step into a doorway, or pushing against people or something. Yeah. The town is quite bustling. In fact, we have bustling music for the town. It's quite bustling and busy. Yeah. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Souls for the reaping.
There is definitely a bunch of poor-looking buildings. No, there's some poor-looking buildings scattered here and there. You'll find some.
I'd like to find a
shops that look
church,
kind of
actually.
disabled. Yes, you find a few temples scattered throughout town.
I want to listen for some rumors in the temple, if I can. See if I can gather anything about this demon worshiper that was strung up in town. I feel like the church would have been involved.
Yeah.
Unless Tyrus seriously orchestrated that stunt himself.
Let's see.
So yeah, my plan. I'll head to a temple and listen. Slip in, sort of follow the priests around.
Yeah, I need to take a look at some data.
Do you have any notes on this town?
I do have notes on this town. Thornwood is the capital of Greene County. Okay, so you hear over the course of the day, scattering about, searching temples and walking through towns. The sorcerer from Shirebrook is pretty much the talk of the town, and right alongside that is the sorcerer's companion. a former slave that the sorcerer had freed in order to do his dirty work and his beastly killings. It appears that this sorcerer from Shirebrook has is trying to summon Drexel from the dead, trying to create a demi-lich. That's the one of the rumors going around town. And the wonderful Sheriff Tyrus Bellows came into town, hunted down this guy, this slave assistant, fought him to the ground, dragged him before the count. The cases were pled. Tyrus reported, or not, yeah, Tyrus mentioned that his companion, his friend back in the other town, had searched through the thoughts of this evil sorcerer, found that it was planning to use the phylactery, or it was carrying this phylactery of Drexel, and that these two were in league. In fact, they had also pissed off some of the bullywugs. The armorer said they'd come by wearing alligator armor, asking to be fitted with alligator armor that smelled like frog. Dwarves said that, this sorcerer came by to their place and brought them a bunch of frog legs that they all ate, that they were eating bullywugs. Of course, the dwarves wouldn't have any of it.
Those poor souls just gone to waste.
The Count very quickly sentenced Reptar to death, and he was slain and his body strung up. There's a pretty decent description of you going about. It's a pretty vague description, but it's still, you think about it, yeah, it fits me. I'm a little on the heavy side, a little bit like this, a little bit like that. There's just a lot of, Shirebrook, what do you expect from that
one of my
whack
attributes
job
is
of-
I can.
Excuse me?
Fortunately, one of my powers is I can enlarge and reduce myself at will
Yeah, that'll help.
for a few minutes at a time.
A lot of the talk is about how that dirty little Shirebrook of a town, if they accept a sheriff like Tyrus, what do you expect? If he's some stranger from overseas, is he a knight? Is he a noble? He's got a last name. And all of a sudden there's this sorcerer coming from town? My god. What could it mean? But you see that you have now developed a reputation. You are Georg the Demon Summoner, or Georg the Sorcerer, Georg the Dark, Georg the Maleficent, Georg something. But you have a reputation that you may not have properly earned, and it is spreading like wildfire. People are eating this story up.
And wait until the bodies start to pile up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to be discreet at first, but I need my dex back. I need a place to stay. At 1 HP.
Well, we are nearing the end of our time. We started a little late, so we could end a little early. If you want to sit on this and give yourself a week to think about it, we can come back in a week.
I don't feel like this is a safe place to rest, though.
All the more
I'm
lovely.
almost, yeah. I guess we can pick it up. Me invisible, looking for some souls.
Okay. So we'll come back next week, probably, with more
so.
Georg the Dark, Georg the Demon Summoner, Georg Apprentice of Drexel, Georg the Bloodletter, something like that.
These rumors are unfounded. And poor Reptar. A moment of silence for Reptar.
Poor Reptar, indeed. He did not deserve his fate.
Yeah, you're twisted. That was unnecessary.
I rolled to see if they could find him, and they did. And from there, it was pretty straightforward.
I did not know. I was not expecting that about this part of the world.
It's a tough world out there. So that's it for Dicing with That this week, everyone. We'll see you next week. Ryan, do you have anything to say before we head out?
Thanks for watching. Good to be back. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Bye bye, everybody.